Welcome to this Killick Explains video, and this time the topic is traps for young investors. We're in the autumn, people are going back to school, back to university, perhaps they're starting jobs for the first time, having had a bit of time off over the summer. So what are the challenges that specifically younger investors tend to face? I'm not saying, by the way, I'm not being patronising that only young investors face these. Plenty of people my age make them too, but if you are getting properly organised for the first time, properly taking on responsibility for things like where you live, paying bills and so on, let's have a quick think about what can go wrong when it comes to investing. So, first of all, don't let me put you off. Starting investing early, even small amounts, on say a monthly basis, is a brilliant idea. It gives you time in the market. It gives you the ability to take advantage of compound returns, as they're called, making money on money, one of the very few free lunches out there. Okay, it's a way to learn. There's nothing like putting your money where your mouth is, as the cliche goes. So by opening an app, just dripping in a small amount, it will force you, it certainly forced me, to think, well, where's my money going? Actually, I should understand a bit about the stock market, a bit about funds, and so on. And believe it or not, it can be fun. Finance isn't always down as most people's first fun topic, but actually investing, making some money over time, realising that's going to give you the choice, the security and so on that you want, that can be quite rewarding. But, and here are 3 traps. Be wary, especially young. I know I fell into most of these traps, or have done over time. Beware of a dangerous combination of what I call ignorance and ego. Be wary of social media, I'm coming back to that, and something I always mention, beware of the fear of missing out, particularly when it comes to long-term investing. So ignorance and ego, first of all. Knowledge is not the same as wisdom, is my first point. So as a young person, I know I did it, you scramble around, you think, yes, I'll read all about it, talk to some friends, bang, set up an app, off I go. And you get onto your app that allows you to buy single stocks, and you start chasing the market up. You get into a chat room, you think there's loads of knowledgeable people in there, all anonymous, all right, and they'll tell me what I need to be buying and selling. That is not the same thing as long-term investing knowledge and wisdom. And the way you can get from one to the other is basically to avoid some of the traps I'll come back to in a moment. Next, overconfidence. Young people tend to be overconfident. It's a great thing to be. You want to be ambitious. You want to be looking at the bright side of life. Why not? But when it comes to investing, you do need to be a little bit careful. Overconfidence can be dangerous. People think they make a bit of money, then they think, I'm an investing guru because one stock came good. They then double their bet, a bit like they're at a casino, and it all goes wrong. And the worst thing about that is it can put you off investing for donkey's years, and then it's a double whammy. You're not investing, and you've been missing out on all the compound returns you could have been making in the meantime. So, keep it simple is my rule, the KISS rule, as I call it, tongue in cheek if you like. If in doubt, the way to do investing as a young person without much knowledge and experience, which is inevitable, there's a clue in the young person title if you like, is keep it simple. Just decide what you can afford to invest and drip it steadily into the market over time. Don't get too flash. Don't invest in anything you don't understand. Don't get too overconfident that you are the next Warren Buffett. Google the name if you're not sure who that is. Now, social media was my second point. All right, so that's ignorance and ego. Social media. More is not better. And the problem with social media is there is tons and tons of stuff out there. TikTok videos, YouTube shorts, Instagram. There are gurus born every minute from bedsits all over the world, it seems. All right, and the problem is knowing what you're supposed to be watching and what you can safely ignore. All right, and just because someone shouts a lot or looks pretty doesn't mean they're a good investor, by the way. All right. Secondly, investing should be simple, said Warren Buffett once, but it's not easy. So don't think by watching a load of stuff on social media, you will suddenly be the next Warren Buffett. Okay, you probably won't be. So my advice, and this will not go down well in with some people watching this video, I would personally avoid TikTok altogether when it comes to any form of serious investing. All right, avoid YouTube Shorts because they're too short. okay? I'm afraid investing is one of those topics where if you want to get into it, it just can't be done in blocks of 1 minute, all right? Avoid chat rooms as far as possible, all right? That's where people tend to get together anonymously. Some of them know stuff, some of them don't have a clue, but they all voice an opinion and try and herd you into the next hot idea. In fact, avoid any shortcuts. You know, if you want to learn properly about investing, you're going to have to read something a bit longer like this. It just can't be done on the back of 30 seconds of somebody no one's ever heard of in China ranting about a stock they might buy tomorrow. Okay? Thirdly, fear of missing out. So this was number 3. It's a big problem, all right? And social media makes it worse. There's always been fear of missing out, by the way. It didn't get invented 5 years ago. Humans want to keep up with the neighbours, keep up with the Joneses, but in investing, this is a big problem. What social media tends to do is to make you anxious that you're missing all the opportunities to travel, to drink, to buy things, to invest, all right? And it's a marketeer's dream. You can chuck almost anybody, anything, through mediums such as TikTok and YouTube and so on. It's low cost, it's high payoff for a very, very few of them, all right? So, solutions. How are we going to get around some of this stuff? How are we going to get around this mixture of ignorance and ego, the dangers of social media, the dangers of fear of missing out? Well, by all means dream. When you're young, have dreams, have big goals, but you need reality checks when it comes to investing money, all right? It takes years to become a super successful investor without a lot of luck. So don't assume that you are going to be the next gift to long-term investing. Follow advice, follow other people, keep it simple. Prioritize. All right, now what I mean by prioritize is you can't have it all now, all right? So look after you today and look after what I call your future self. Think, in 10 years' time, will I look back and thank me now for the decisions I made? So should I be putting away some money every month rather than spending it all, for example? Obviously tempting to spend it all, try to avoid that. And that means there are trade-offs. Right, life is about trade-offs. Social media gives you the impression you can have it all by the age of 25. That's highly unlikely, and wouldn't life be quite boring at the age of 50 if you had had it all at 25, frankly? So develop a get-rich-slowly mindset. We want to make some money in investing, we want to look after our future selves, but it's not going to happen in the next week. And if you're looking at something online, or you come across a chat room idea, check it, ask family members and friends that you trust. I mean, dare I suggest, consider running it past an advisor if you have one, all right? And make sure you can distinguish between what I call serious money and fun money. That's important. By all means, everyone wants to learn I'm not suggesting you do this, by the way, but it's inevitable. People are curious about crypto, they're curious about single stocks, they're curious about products that look exciting they haven't come across. Fine, ring fence, like you would were you to be a pure gambler, for example. Just ring fence a little bit of money. Money that if you lose the lot is not going to affect your lifestyle. Ring fence that, and by all means, have a little play around with it, okay? But most 95% plus of the money you invest shouldn't be anywhere near what I call the off-piste, left-field investments. So there you have it. Uncle Tim's serious conclusion to his video, if you like, but basically the message is serious. To find out a bit more about some of these mistakes that people can make, especially when they're young, but not exclusively when they're young, I have to add that. Killick.com/learn's got a series of tabs down here. Please feel free to watch some other videos around this topic. My guides should keep you your feet on the ground, if you like. That will be editor@killick.com. There's one next to me called How to Invest in Equities. You'll notice it's not called How to Invest in Crypto. It's not called How to Invest in Single Stocks. It's not called How to Invest in Gold. Right, and there's a reason for that. And if you want to read all about it, I do cover some of these emotional biases, as they're called, which tend to be more prevalent amongst younger people than older people, but they're not limited to them. Then confidant would be editor@killick.com.